for Emmanuel Macron, he's looking at nothing less than transforming France at its most basic level. He said this over and over. He's running against a grain of hundreds of years of French history. As far as Marine Le Pen, the National Front candidate, goes, one of her most recent statements pretty well sums up her positions. She said, France is not burkinis on the beach. France is the nation of Brigitte Bardot. So this, in its crassest terms, however, most realistic terms, is what the people of France are swarming to some 67,000 polling stations around the country today to decide what vision of France's future they want to go for.
And we know that France has been under a state of emergency after a spate of terrorist attacks. What effect will the state of emergency have, Craig, on today's voting, do you think?
Well, they've ramped up security around all polling stations in Paris. There's going to be security, about 50,000 more police on the streets throughout the country. They've also brought in around 1,800, excuse me, raining here, about 1,800 private security officials to guard polling stations. This one behind me is actually located very close to the Roland Garros tennis facility where the French Open is held. Right here we are in what you would call a Republican country, and this area here is now, according to polls being taken, is solidly and squarely with Emmanuel Macron. And it's a rainy day, so this, at least in Paris, so this could cut down on the number of voters coming out. At least that's one of the expectations here.
And, Craig, we know that the Macron campaign was plagued by the threat of a huge hack campaign yesterday, but luckily for him it came just before the media ban. What was your feeling yesterday in Paris? How were people responding? Did they know about it even, particularly given the fact that there was a media ban?
Well, yeah, they knew about it. There's an expression here in France, I'll translate for you. What the Russian psyops did, they did not advance the schmiblik. That's an old French joke expression going back a number of decades. The French are laughing at this. What the Russians have done here is essentially something kind of surrealistic. And France is pretty much the home of surrealism. So the people we've been speaking to are all laughing at this because it didn't advance the schmiblik. It didn't advance the absurdity of trying to convince French voters that Macron is some sort of corrupt official.
Okay, well,
that's the reality here. France is not America. The Americans kind of bought into this. The French have not.
Yeah, okay. Well, laughing, I suppose, is better than crying. Craig, thank you for that very much. Craig Copetas there for us in Paris.